అనుకూలంగా మంచి వాళ్ళకు ఒక విద్యాభ్యాసంగా ఉంటుందని నేను చెప్తున్నాను. రెండవది ఏమంటే ఇప్పుడు రామానుజ స్వామి మీరు వినే ఉంటారు, ద గ్రేట్ హార్ట్. ఆయనకు గురుపదేశం ఇస్తే హౌస్ టాప్ నుంచి అరిచి ఆ మంత్రోపదేశం అందరికీ ఇది. వాళ్ళ గురువు వచ్చి ఏమి ఇట్లా చేసినావు, నువ్వు హెల్కి పోతావు, నువ్వు నరకానికి పోతావు. నేను ఒక్కడు నరకానికి పోయి ఇంతమంది ఏమని పోతే నాకు అదే కావాలి. అది బాబా నువ్వు కాదు, నేను నీకు శిష్యుడు, నువ్వు నా గురువు. అలాగా అని మనం అది పాదధూళి అనుకోండి, అది ఆదర్శం. సో అప్పుడు వేవ్స్ ఆఫ్ బ్లిస్ అనమాట, రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఈ మూలాధారం నుంచి పైకి వేవ్స్ అండ్ వేవ్స్ ఆఫ్ బ్లిస్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఓవర్వెల్మింగ్ బ్లిస్ అట్లా వచ్చేది. మళ్ళీ తర్వాత అఫ్కోర్స్ ఈ వాట్ యూ కాల్ ఓంకారనాథం మామూలుగా వినపడుతూ ఉంటుంది. ది షిల్ వాయిస్ ఆఫ్ ద సోల్ అని అంటారే, దట్స్ ఆల్వేస్ దే. అండ్ దెన్ మెడిటేషన్ సెషన్స్లో కూర్చుని సంథింగ్ లైక్ హెడ్లైట్స్, కార్ హెడ్లైట్స్ మాదిరి వచ్చేది. వారి అనుగ్రహంతోనే మళ్ళా ఒకటి స్వామి దగ్గర ఉన్నప్పుడే ఏమన్నా నాన్ మెడిటేటివ్ టైమ్స్, ఇప్పుడు చూడు దేవతలు వస్తారంట స్వామి, ఏమి అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఫ్రేగ్రెన్స్ దివ్యమైన సువాసనలతో నిండిపోతుంది. అప్పుడు ఆ విధంగా స్వామి ఎన్నో మాకు ఇచ్చారు అనుభవాలు. నేను ఒకటూరి స్వామి పడక గదిలో ఉన్నప్పుడు దాని పక్కన అప్పుడు అది మీరు చూసే ఉంటారు, పక్కన బీరువాళ్ళు, ఓల్డ్ మంది బీరువాళ్ళు అవన్నీ ఉండేవి, అక్కడ పడుకునేవాడిని. ఉన్నట్టుండి హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద హోల్ సన్స్ ఆర్బిట్, అంటే సన్ ఇమేజ్ నా పైన పడిపోయింది. అంత మహావింతులు వచ్చి సో మచ్ షాకింగ్. ఇట్లా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అన్ని ఎన్నో వారి దయతో అయినాయి.
Okay, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about when I saw this video. I had tears in my eyes. I was so moved by Raja Reddy's experiences, and it was amazing because when we used to come to Puttaparthi, we used to hear so much about Raja Reddy. He was the ideal. Swami would my people who would go to Swami in the early days would talk a lot about Raja Reddy. He had this work ethic which was incredible. And so when I heard all of these, it was amazing because it was almost like seeing this man in person and talking to him. Now, the one thing that blew my mind, and I'm going to then give you guys the mic and please share what you think as well, was that he was in Swami's room. He was sleeping in Swami's room. He would drive his car. He was there 20 plus hours, or how many hours are in the day with Swami. But yet, he would get up in the morning at 3:30 a.m. and from 3:30 to 5 a.m. he was do his meditation. Even though Swami is sleeping right there. Okay? So there is a certain level of work that he was willing to put. And he tells Dr. Anil Kumar later in the interview that it is not just Swami's grace alone. You also have to put in your own effort. There is a certain amount of effort that has to go in. And that I found extremely inspiring. That, Swami's grace is there, but to really go within and to gain some insight, we have to put in that effort. So one of the questions that I used to get when I was sitting in darshan was, again, this, what is going within? And Swami would say, learn yourself, know yourself. And so there were times during those, when we were waiting for Swami, that we would be quiet. There is a certain quiet in Prashant Nilayam which is incredible. Right? Thousands of people sitting together, completely quiet. Somebody is chanting God's name. Somebody is, has the rosary in their hand. And somebody is trying to talk to Swami, but in complete quiet. There was as if this whole place had this energy which was incredible. And so the goal has always been for me to create that kind of an environment. So we'll talk a little bit about how we are trying to do that in the Boston Center. But before I do that, I wanted to pass on the mic to you all and maybe share what you thought about what Raja Reddy had to say. That he had these, and again, he had some good experiences with Swami. Please listen to this, but any thoughts on what you just heard? I know I'm putting you all on the... So, please, go ahead. I want to hear at least from the president. Just kidding. So, go ahead. Does anybody have any thoughts on what we just spoke a little bit? No thoughts? Lakshman then. Yeah.
So I like that point that when we look at Raja Reddy sir, we may think that, okay, he's staying close to Swami, that's the greatest blessing. But he does not think like that. He thinks in a different direction. Maybe not different, but in right direction. That how much ever close you may stay physically to Swami, but the most important thing is what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, which I found very deeply inspiring as well. That you can have the opportunity to be close to him, and you can have had many opportunities to have spoken to him, or him having spoken to you. But then it's equally important, or perhaps more even, to work on these, to work on yourself, and to have a sadhana that you can work with. Anybody on the ladies' side? No one. Okay. All right. So I'll just briefly talk about what we are doing at the Boston Center to have this kind of an environment. So what we do at the Boston Center is we do these day-long silent days so that we can recreate this atmosphere. So we'll have 40, 50 people show up at someone's place, and we start at 5:30 a.m. and the whole day you have to be quiet. Okay. And we'll have 1 hour sessions where in that 1 hour session you sit down in front of Swami's picture, and either you can read Swami's book, you can do Namasmarana, you can do meditation, you can do bhajan in your head, but it's completely quiet. You don't talk to anyone, nobody talks to you. If you want to say something to someone, you write it on a piece of paper and give it to them. Okay. But no talking. Your cell phones remain in your car, and it was an incredible experience. Those of us who attended that event, we had such a phenomenal experience because in some way we were able to recreate that peace of Prashant Nilayam. Our lives are filled with a lot of external input nowadays. Your cell phone is always with you. There's stuff blaring at you 24/7. So how can we expect to be in touch with God if we are not quiet? And so this is the feedback we received from a lot of our center members. And we started doing this together. And so we have done already 3 of them, 2 actually, and a 3 much larger retreat, a silent retreat, which was 2.5 days long. And we will hopefully continue this. So in that spirit, let's do a small 9-minute such silent sitting, and then we'll hear from Dr. Hisla about what he thinks about sadhana. Okay? So I'm going to I have a bell here, right? So the rules are pretty simple. We don't talk, we keep quiet, and there's going to be a bell to begin the session, and after 9 minutes there's going to be another bell. So choose whatever sadhana you wish to do. Do Namasmarana if you want to do. You can chant Swami's name or any god that you feel like. You can do Soham meditation. You can read Swami's book if you have one with you. You can do whatever you wish to. But it's going to be for 9 minutes, and let's enjoy each other's company for these 9 minutes silently. Okay? There is great power in numbers. In Prashant Nilayam, the most beautiful event that I felt I attended was this morning meditation that used to happen from, I believe, 5 to 5:30, I think, if I'm not wrong. Well, one particular time. But all these people would go inside Swami's mandir, and we would all sit, and Swami used to live there in mandir. So it was amazing, the kind of quiet and the kind of peace that one would feel was incredible. So let's try and maybe recreate some of that here in Anderson, in Quality Inn, and make Quality Inn a Prashant Nilayam for 9 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to start. I'll start this bell, and after 9 minutes it's going to ring again, and we'll start the rest of the talk after that.